Hello everybody. Lori here from Unique in the Creek. On this fine Monday, Victoria Day. Today is a day in Canada, a holiday in Canada. Happy Victoria Day to all my fellow Canadians. Say hello when you come in. Today we're going to be doing a nautical flower. And I'm going to be using this really cute 8-inch sign. So let me check, make sure I'm streaming where I'm supposed to. Say hello when you come in. Hi Tony, how are you? Hope you're doing well. I didn't really put an event or anything that I was going live, so if you happen to have the broadcast channel and that you've seen I was going live, thank you so much for joining it. Okay, so I'm going to do a really quick flower. This is super cute. I'm going to be using one of these new signs. This one is 2131. Hello, Linda. And it is, let's go down. Look how cute it is. It's very simple. It's a beach themed sign. Blues and creams and naturals in it. This does come in 6/8 inch, 8-inch, 10-inch, and a vinyl. Okay. The size I'm using is the 8-inch. Again, it's 2131, and all our signs do come with cable mounts and a pipe cleaner. Okay, so just in case you don't have one, at least you can put it onto your board. And then the next, what we're going to be using is this beautiful combo of horizontal wide stripe mesh. We're going to be using a natural. Now, if you do this flower and you use these 3 rolls of mesh, you can make 2 flowers, okay? Because we're using 16 pieces of the beige or the natural of the horizontal wide stripe. I've linked everything below. Hi, Susan. Well, I'm glad you're excited. We're going to use a cream, and we're going to use this country blue. This is country blue. You could probably use smoked blue, but I really liked the country blue because it kind of pulled out the darker blue in here. The smoked blue is more of what like the welcome sign or the welcome is. So either blue will work, even a navy blue will work with this, okay? So we're going to do 16 pieces of natural. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. We're going to use 16 pieces of cream and 16 pieces of this country blue. All of them will be cut at 10.5 inches. So there's 360 on a roll, 360 inches on a roll, which means if you cut them at 10.5 inches, you will get 32 pieces. 16 and 16 is 32. My autofocus? I don't have autofocus. I'm using my Mevo. Anyways, so let's get started. I love that blue too. So you're going to cut, I think I need 3 pieces. So I'm going to use the cream color or ivory. I believe it's cream though. We're going to cut at 10.5. Now I do not wood burn this or heat seal it because you're not going to, with this petal, we're going to be doing the starfish petal. And with this petal, you don't see the edges. Okay. Hi, Carol Ann from YouTube. So I'm going to cut it at 10.5, and I'm going to cut in between the 2 thicker plastic lines. Okay. It just prevents a little bit less fray when you cut it between the 2 thick lines. And when you are cutting your mesh, you want to make sure it's squared up. Meaning the edge is on the edge of your cutting mat and the bottom seam here is running along one of your bottom lines here. So you have, when you go to cut it, it's going to be a perfect square. Again, I'm cutting it at 10.5, right in between the double lines, okay? If you want to wood burn it, feel free, but you'll see in a sec that you don't have to wood burn this petal. And you all know me, I hate wood burning mesh because I have to do it inside, although it's getting nicer out. So I try and use whatever petal I can that doesn't have to be wood burned. Now the starfish petal, I will show you. I got some of it done because the whole thing is the same petal. Isn't this cool? I called it the starfish petal because when it's done, when the flower is done, it reminds me of a starfish, for real. Isn't it cool? And it really, I love this petal for anything beachy because it does look like a starfish. Okay, so I'm going to show you the petal. I have preloaded. I still have to do 2 things. Preloaded, closed, row 2, the normal holes. So you're going to go down 1 hole, back up the other on row 2, and do your zip tie up till you hear a zipping, and it locks. So row 2 is 16, and that's where I'm putting the natural color, because I figured I would go from sand to water, right? Sand to water. Where's my sign? And then the blue mesh is really going to make that, all that pop, all that blue pop in the center of my sign. It's going to be so pretty. So yeah, sand to water. So 16 of the natural on row 2. I'm doing 16 of the ivory or cream, whatever you want to call it, on row 3. And to get 16, I'm using the shared holes. Okay, so I'm not using the regular closer holes. I'm doing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, just to keep it all even color. Cream, and then row 4, I'm doing 8 blue, and row 5, I'm going to do 8 blue as well, even though I could get away with not doing row 5. As you can see, the sign is going to cover row 5, but I'm going to have row 5 come, and I'm going to make the petals a little smaller and just come out in between these 2 petals, just to give a little bit more blue into my flower, okay? So we'll get started. So what you're going to need is your 10.5-inch piece of mesh, curl up, okay? You can use any mesh you want. Like I said, this is horizontal wide stripe. You could use poly burlap, you can use fabric mesh, you can use deco mesh, whatever you have on hand, okay? Turn it into a diamond shape. The seams, top left, bottom right, tattoos on the right hand, okay? We're gonna bring that top corner down to the bottom corner. Always seems to start in a triangle, right? All right, fold it out. Alrighty, now I'm gonna kind of stretch it a little bit. I'm gonna take the right side. This top edge is gonna go straight down the middle here. So I'm gonna flip it and bring it straight down the middle, and this is gonna line up perfectly with this, okay? So everything is all matched up just like that. Then I'm going to take the left side and I'm going to bring it over, and I'm going to grab my left side right where the seam is, and I'm going to, you can bring it over, and then I'm going to kind of bring it back to this corner here. Okay, so it's kind of looking like that. And what you're going to do is then fold this edge, fold it right in the center, and this edge is going to go folded back straight down the center again. And then you're going to just about 2 inches up, pinch. So when you do that, it kind of makes this curve, and that curve is what looks like the starfish. Where did my rubber bands go? lost my rubber bands. I probably left them upstairs. That's okay. We'll put this right in to the zip tie. Okay, normally I would rubber band them. I don't know where they went. I only have a gazillion hanging around here. All right. So that is how I'm doing all the petals. I'll do it again. I just want to get these ones in so I can, because I think I have all the beige ones made. Okay. So you're going to make your petal, band it, put the petal into your zip tie where you band it. So the band is about 2 inches up. And then I kind of, you know, that folded piece, I'm just going to bring this corner, I'm just going to kind of tuck it under there. All right, and we'll do our zip tie up. So you can do row 2. And then once you're done row 2, then you go on to row 3, and then you go on to row 4. And you can stop at row 4, like I said, but we're going to add extra, so I have some blue going up the middle. Okay, I will do the petal again. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so like I said, you need 16 of the natural petals if you want to do it like this. You can also do sand to water. Whatever you want. I just thought, like I said, the blue is going to make this sign really pop. Okay, and once you've got all your petals in, hello everybody, you're going to cut your zip ties off. And now we're going in with our next color on row 3. Our next color I picked is cream. So again, I've pre-made most of my petals when I was upstairs, but I'll fold a couple more for you again. Again, this is the starfish petal. This is anytime I do a flower, a beach or nautical themed flower, this is the petal I use. Curl up, diamond shape, top corner to the bottom corner. Okay, make a triangle. I kind of just give it a little stretch. You're going to take your right side. This top ledge is going to go down the middle, but this edge is running right along this bottom edge, okay? So your corner will stick out just a smidge from the bottom here, but I just want to make sure that is lined up, because if it's not lined up, when you go to flip over, your curve might be a little wonky. And then I'm going to take the left side, bring it right over, and you can just grab the side here, and then I kind of just bring it back. And once I've got this edge, once it hits this corner, so you'll see it's about a half an inch from, it's about a half an inch past here, okay? And then we're going to fold, once we got it right to the corner here, you're going to fold it back on itself, and then this is going to go straight down. Okay? It's not hard, it's just hard to explain. So you'll get this small curve, but once you scrunch it in the about 2 inches up is when it really gives it that curve. Okay? And I pinched it about 2 inches up, and then I'm going to put it right into my zip tie. You can cut the excess off. Put it right into your zip tie and do your zip tie up right where your fingers are. And that way each petal is going to be the same length. And then I kind of tuck this one under the flap of that one. Okay, we'll do that one more time. into the board. Now you can pre-make them with your rubber bands. We do have rubber bands, the clear rubber bands on the website again. I forgot to link them below. Or you can just go as you're making the petals, just put them in like I just did. Okay, so it's pretty easy once you get the hang of the petal. So 16 on row 2, we did the natural. 16 on row 3, we used the shared holes and we used cream color. Could probably use white too if you wanted, because there is white in the sign. You could also use navy blue. You can pull whatever colors are in your sign. You can pick 3, or you can do the flower all the exact same color. That's the beauty, is you can use up some mesh you might have hanging around. But if you use brand new rolls of these 3 colors, you can make 2 of these. So there is another sign that's brand new. It's very similar to this one, and it's got flip-flops on it. It says welcome, and it's got flip-flops and some shells. That one has the same color blues as well. So you could get both signs and only have to use the 3 rolls of mesh, and you'd be able to make two of these. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I did not make an event or anything. We're trying to do some analytics on our Facebook and all our social media, so I didn't want to screw it up by adding an event. So, okay, so now the size of the sign is 8 inches. So now we're going to do the blue on row 4, sorry. 8 blue on row 4. And then I'm going to do 8 blue on row 5, only because I want some blue to go in between these petals. Okay. Okay, we can be done here, right? Really cute, but I think I'm going to add a few more. I am going to add onto row 5 another 8, because I want them to go in between these ones. So they're going to be a little bit shorter. Just want to see how it looks. So I'm doing the shared holes on row 5 first. Oh yeah. So it just kind of peaks right there. So that's what I want. So 4 shared holes. And then I'll come back and do the regular holes. And then we'll put our sign on, and that's it. We're done. So if you get your petals made ahead of time, you can knock out a flower wreath in no time. You can actually do this on your lap if you have all your petals made. Hello, everybody. Okay, so now I'm going to go and preload the normal holes on row 5, and then I'll show you the back. And you'll see how nice and neat it is. Party on the front, business on the back. I should get a t-shirt made with that. Party on the front, business on the back. And we got 4 on row 5. Okay. So these ones are going to kind of sit on top of the ones we put on row 5 for the shared holes. They're going to kind of sit on top. And I'm just going to tuck it under. look like a starfish. I did bring the coral. I was going to put a little bit of coral in it. Where's the coral? We have the new coral color. I was going to put some of that in it. Because anything coral, because there is little pieces of coral in the shells and stuff. So I could have brought that out. I could have did that with the cream. That would have looked pretty too, but I decided to go with the cream. Oh, I need one more of these. Again, we're cutting it at 10.5. Now I know the label says 10. So you see that the label says 10 inches. But when you measure it, it's actually 10.5. So you want a perfect square. Now this petal is very forgiving. You could even cut it at 10 and still it would work. But just always measure your mesh, especially if you're making flowers and you need to make sure that you have a perfect square. You might want to measure your mesh. I'm just kind of folding it back. Once I fold it back, it's going back straight down. See the bottom one that was straight down? The top one is going straight down right on top of it as well. All right, and then we're going to scrunch it about 2 inches up, and then it'll give that curve. This is the last one. Yeah, always check your measurements. Absolutely. I have linked, a lot of people were asking where I got my gun, my, oh, not gun, you know, the zip tie cutter here. Don't want to say bad words that I'll get in trouble, but that's linked in the description below as well. Okay. What a pretty, pretty flower. There's the front. There's the back. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a different hanger because I figured this would take not very much time, which I was right. So I'm going to use some of this bead garland I found and make a hanger. Now, I don't know if it's going to, maybe not. I think the beads might be too thick to do a hanger. We can try it. Anyways, I'm going to use automotive tape. This isn't expensive at all. This stuff is the godsend of signs, for signs. Okay, I'm putting this a little bit on the back. I have this linked below as well. This will last you quite a long time because you only need a little piece. And then you're going to take if you have fingernails, get the red thing off. There we go. I don't have fingernails, so. There we go. And our pipe cleaner. Why have I lost everything? Okay, I literally just, oh, it's on the floor. Okay. Then we're going to just take a pipe cleaner, go through the back of the cable mount. Now you want to put your cable mount pretty much in the center. This is an 8-inch sign. So to find your center, it's pretty easy. Just get something straight. Okay, we're gonna go, that's 4 right there. So 4 and 4. So the middle is literally right there. Okay, press really hard. You can use the sign. It takes about 24 hours for that tape to cure, but once it's on there, once it's cured, it's on there. This is highly recommended if you're using metal signs. Jackie found this, and because we've been looking for something for signs for a long time to make sure it doesn't come off, and this stuff does work really well. Okay, and you're gonna now just take each end of your pipe cleaner, and we are going to put it right in the center holes there. Now I have there's a little bit of mesh in the middle, so I have to kind of move the mesh. There's one. Okay, and other one is right there. So you can make a flower and a sign with anything, just like exactly like this. It doesn't even have to be nautical if you like this petal. Okay, just kind of pulling these out before I totally tighten my sign down. Make sure all the centers are flipped over. Okay, and I'm pulling from the back. As soon as I feel a little bit of resistance, I'm twisting on the back. Then we're going to cut that excess pipe cleaner off, put it back down the holes. Okay, there we go. So I said business on the back, party on the front. Look how pretty that is. And we can adjust it. Now, if you're not, I'm gonna try a bead hanger. But if you weren't wanting to put some kind of bead hanger or anything, you can just take a zip tie. And there's the logo. You can feel the chamfered holes or the divoted holes up here, which is where your top is. You're going to go down one hole, back up the other, do your zip tie up till you hear some clicking. Cut that to stop it, and there you go. Now you want to make sure your sign is centered. And you can hang it. And once it's centered, you can put a little bit of hot glue if you want under here, and then just hold your sign, and I'll hold it in place as well. Okay, so like I said, if you got 3 colors, you can do 2 of these flowers. There is another sign like this one with flip-flops. It will be perfect for these 3 colors again. Super cute. Now, like I said, I wanted to amp my wreath up a bit. And I have these beaded garlands. I got this at Hobby Lobby in the fall. I'm pretty sure I only paid, it was $5.99. I know I didn't pay that. I probably paid $3 for it. And I'm gonna make, this is wired jute. You can use just normal jute. I just happen to have this. And I am going to attempt to make a hanger with the beads, just to give it a little something, right? You don't have to. You can stop with the zip tie and you're good to go. But we have time, so let's play. So what I'm going to try to do is no, that's not going to work. I'm going to try and tie this. Hold on, I need these. Oh, I know what I can do. Hold on. I'm going to cut this off. Take another zip tie. Okay. And I'm going to knot this. Double knot it. Thank you guys. You can do any colors. It'll be fun. Okay. And then I'm going to do this zip tie up tight. So it's like a stopper. Let's see if this works. I've not done anything like this before, so that is not going anywhere. Okay, so I gotta kind of figure out, I want my beads from about here to here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a knot, because I don't want the beads all down here where you're not even going to see it, and I don't want it to, I want it to stay flush with the door, so I don't need beads down here. I'm going to put a knot right about there. Again, this is wired jute. You can just use normal jute. I just couldn't find my normal jute. Go figure. Yeah, see that is not going anywhere. And then I'm going to string on some of these beads. Now, I'm just using a natural wood bead. They are just plain old Jane beads, but I thought it would look kind of cool to, you know, get a little extra touch to your wreath. So I just cut the end of the garland because it was such a cheap garland, cheaper than buying all these beads separately. Again, you can be done and just put a zip tie on. This is just for funsies. Okay, a couple more. Happy Victoria Day to all my Canadian peoples. Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be edited. All right. Okay, I think right there might be good. One more. Perfect. Okay. I'll tie a knot in this so I don't have beads everywhere. Right back in my little bag. All right, so we're gonna try and put a knot here so the beads don't slide down. All right, and then we're gonna, again, grab another zip tie. Did you get that, Lynn? I knew you would like that one. All right, so we'll make another knot down here. Hi, Choots Baker. Hi, Ruthie. Hello, everybody watching me fumble here. Okay, I'll do that up. So these are the two holes for the hanging holes anyways. me flip it over. Hold on. Oh, it's kind of cute. Look at that. Not bad, eh? A little something, something extra to, you just never know. Maybe that little handle for hanging will get that wreath sold, and, you know, only took maybe 5 minutes. Would take less if you weren't fighting like me. And we'll put a little bit of glue. Just gonna twist this up a little bit. Just give it extra. And then we'll put a little bit of glue over it as well. And then it is not going anywhere. Okay. Oh, my glue gun's not plugged in. Anyways, I'm going to put a little bit of glue going over that way and over that way, even though my zip ties are there. And I've twisted and tied it. It's on there. And I think it matches the wreath quite nicely. There we go. Cute, right? And there we go. A nice little beach flower. So if you know anybody with a beach house or a cabin or a trailer at the beach, this is perfect. And it's made with horizontal wide stripe, so it will last out there. And like I said, if you get 3 colors, you can make 2 of these. Alrighty. And there's the back. So if you're selling it, make sure you put your sticker, your business card on there. Make sure everything's nice. Looks professional. And there we go. The starfish petal. I know it's pretty, right? Alrighty, well, thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you're watching on Facebook, give us a like, please, a like and a follow. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind giving us a subscribe, and even leave a heart if you loved this tutorial. All right, we will see you guys, I don't know when, but